Here are 5 goals to grow your web design business beyond 6 figures a lot faster than I bet you think you could. The reason I want to do this today is we have this Facebook group, and I asked a question. I'll put a link in the description if you want to join our group. It's totally free, awesome group. But I asked a question in the group, which was, have you ever written down a business goal? And we didn't get a lot of goals. So I thought, well, why not? Is it because people don't know how to write the goals, or they're not sure what a good business goal is? Because the temptation is, well, let me just set the goal if I'm going to build a 6-figure web design business and go full time and have this awesome lifestyle, which is an awesome goal and very achievable, but it's kind of one of those far off goals. Like, what are you going to do to get there? So today, I'm going to give you 5 kind of stepping stone goals to be able to grow past 6 figures a lot faster than you otherwise could. Here's the first goal. Develop a lead generation concept. So instead of just offering web design to your clients, offer something that generates leads supported by web design. So you're doing both things together. And when you do that, that alone will probably triple the amount of revenue you get per project for 2 reasons. One, you can charge a lot more because you're offering a pretty obvious return on investment. And second, you're going to be getting recurring revenue. So you have this consistent revenue coming into your business from like the lead generation marketing side of it, which we'll talk about in a second. But just think about the concept. You're going to want to have 3 layers to it. Layer 1 is, where does the traffic come from? Layer 2 is, how do I convert that traffic to leads? And layer 3 is, how do I convert the leads into paying customers? And this is the concept that you execute on behalf of your clients. The next 4 goals are all going to be goals for your own business. So the second goal is, now that you have this lead generation concept, you want to know, who is it for? Like, what's the target market that you're trying to reach? And create a lead magnet for your website that pulls your ideal clients out. Like something that you can give away for free that is valuable enough for them to put their email address in for it. Here's some examples of some lead magnets that have worked really well for us. One is a checklist, like just a list of things. Like, if you're gonna have success posting on Instagram, then this is the checklist you need to do to follow it. Or it could be like a template, like a pre-designed Instagram template of some sort. It could be a resource list, like just a bundle of things that you think your target audience would think is really cool. Another one would be something educational, like a training or a tutorial or a webinar that people can opt in for. Or a 5th one is like a quiz. Like you ask a couple of questions to get enough information to then give somebody a really cool answer. Maybe even handwrite the answer and email it to them later. But it's something that they answer a couple of questions, put their email address in, and you email them a really cool response. So those are really great concepts for lead magnets. So goal number 2 is figure out which one of those you want to do and like put a lead magnet on your site so that you're actually so that you're converting your own traffic into leads. Okay, thing number 3 is, now that you're getting the leads, set up an email nurturing sequence. So the third goal is to have a nurturing sequence that converts these leads into people that call you. So for example, you kind of know something about the client based on what the lead magnet is. So let's say you put out a pre-designed template for posting on Instagram. So it looks really cool. You know something about the client now. Thing number 1 that you probably know is they want leads, which is probably why they're posting on Instagram. Thing number 2, they're thinking social media is going to be a good idea to get there, which is why they're using Instagram. And thing number 3, they're probably doing it themselves, which is why they want the template. So put together a nurturing sequence so that when they're ready to upgrade from a do-it-yourself kind of thing into a professional system, you're right there. Boom, now you've got these really high quality leads coming in because of your nurturing sequence. Okay, so set a goal to make that nurturing sequence. Number 4 is create a solution that's worth more than $10,000. So like when they call you, you want to have something to offer, right? So this is kind of thinking back to step 1, to that first goal, where we have like the traffic, the leads, and the clients. Now we're thinking, well, what are the services that I need to implement in order to pull off those concepts? And this will probably have 3 layers too. It'll probably have a web design layer, like web design and branding. There'll be like a technical support kind of hosting layer, and then a marketing layer. The web design layer is probably going to be in the price point of around $3,000 for starters. So like to hit the $10,000 price point, about a $3,000 website, we charge $100 a month for like hosting, maintenance, and up to an hour of tech support. And then you'll probably have a marketing plan that's at least $500 per month. So in terms of this recurring revenue, you've got $7,200 per year coming in. $600 a month times 12 months, $7,200. And that's taking this $3,000 project, that's the web design setup, and bumping it up to over $10,000, $10,200, just because you added the hosting and marketing, right? So now that recurring revenue component is really influential and huge when it comes to hitting your 6 figures, because you've got the recurring revenue, you've tripled the value of your work, and you don't need to get nearly as many leads because you keep the leads you've already got because they're paying you now on a recurring basis. So think about what that solution is. And a lot of web designers don't think about it that way. A lot of like garden variety web designers will think about it in like, well, I'll talk to the client, they'll tell me what they want, and I'll do what they say. So if they want this, then I'll do that. And what I'm talking about here is something that's bumping it up a level, where you're acting like the doctor. Like, you would never want to go to a doctor where they're like, oh, it's good to see you. What do you want me to do to you today? Well, how about a throat culture? Or maybe we could do some blood work or whatever. It's like, you don't want that. You want a doctor to say, hey, where does it hurt? You tell them some pain points, and they say, well, here's what you do to fix that. And that's what this solution is that we're talking about right now. It's like, you want pain point questions. Like, maybe the client's not getting any leads and they're kind of stalled out. Or maybe they are getting leads, but the price point's too low, so everybody's unqualified. Or maybe they got a new product they're trying to launch. Or maybe they have a new location that nobody knows about, right? So these are all issues that are pain point issues. And then you can say, hey, I've got a solution that solves that problem. And it's going to be $10,000 or more because it's got the web design, it's got the tech support and maintenance, and it's got the marketing package all bundled in there together. But that's why they get the results, because it's a full, comprehensive lead generation concept. Okay, so that's the fourth thing. If this is making sense, go ahead and thumb the thumb so I know that you're tracking along with me. Now, the last one is go ahead and set a goal. Now, this one's going to feel weird, but set a goal of landing a $10,000 client in the pattern that we just talked about in the next 3 months. So if you can commit to landing a $10,000 client in the next 3 months, put a comment down below and let me support you in that. Now, here's what you need to do that. The last step of the last goal to set to kind of support the $10,000 client in the next 3 months is you got to learn how to present the pitch. Because one of the big problems of going high ticket and like increasing how comprehensive your offer is there's more technical stuff in it now. So instead of just web design, now it's web design, it's technical stuff, it's marketing. And so if you just wing it, you run the risk of overwhelming the client by saying way too much stuff. And you know that you've overwhelmed them because their response is going to be, I got to think about it, right? They're not saying yes. They're like, oh, hold on a minute. I got to talk to somebody and think about all of this. And you don't really want that. You want to be able to help. You want to serve somebody. And like, this is so important to me. It's like, what can I do that will cause my client to get a result that they would not have been able to achieve had it not been for me? And the garden variety web design approach does not deliver like that. The garden variety web design approach is the client tells you to do some stuff and then you do what they say. But if you're not there, they can just have other people do what they say, right? So this concept is, how can I present a pitch that gives them a new idea that will achieve a higher result than they otherwise would have had it not been for you? And how do you do that in a way that doesn't overwhelm them? And it's hard. It's hard to do that. You got to learn how to do that, right? And all 5 of these goals that we're talking about are all things that we cover in Double Stack. So if you want my help implementing this stuff in your business, head on over to doublestack.net/call. We'll do a one-on-one private Zoom call together, and we can talk about the details. Okay, one last thing before you go. In order to scale up your business, and this is kind of supplemental to all the things we've talked about, you don't want to have a thin profit margin and do more stuff to try to do more work at a thin profit margin, because that'll burn you out. You'll end up having to get too many clients, do too much work, and you're just scaling out your finger power, like the implementation stuff. The better approach, and what we've really been talking about here, is get a bigger profit margin. So you're not just selling finger power, but also brain power, because the brain power is far more profitable than the finger power. So check out this next video, and I'll show you how to make more money with less work. All right, I'll see you in a minute.